Hi, I'm Dylan, and welcome back to my game development journey of Scuttle, a 3D runner/platformer with rhythm game elements. In this game, you play as a crab on a musical journey, gaining speed by hitting notes on beat and overcoming obstacles while staying in rhythmic time with the music. In Scuttle, your actions actually contribute to the musical melodies being played, making you really feel like a music crab. In this episode, I'm going to tackle the newest level, level 5, or I should say environment 5. And that's it. That's what we're doing this month. So when I start with a level, I start by mapping out my ideas in kind of this brainstorm session, and just kind of define the direction I want for the new mechanics and kind of the visuals of this map to be. And for this one, I wanted to do a volcanic, like erupting landscape, like those volcanoes that go straight into the sea and create new land masses. I thought that would be a really cool departure from the other levels, but still being kind of beach themed and unique. I kind of started to get excited thinking about it. And so this is just me getting some reference photos of that idea. And of course, I have to make my very professional map in Photoshop. And this is just kind of so I can have a flow of how the level's going to work and what obstacles are going to happen in what order and kind of the general flow of the landscape. It's really just for me to feel better about myself when I'm making the level and kind of not knowing where to go next. And then it's time to create the landmass. I first just kind of focus on how big I want the scale to be. So I map out some kind of huge landmarks and just see how they feel with the crab actually in the game world. Once that's done, then I can kind of go back in and actually start making the terrain, because then I know how big to make things. And then I lost all my work I made on that landscape, so I started it again, but this time in blue. So in every level, I wanted to create new mechanics that kind of build on the foundations of previous levels. For this level, I wanted to create a moving platform mechanic where you could go onto a new platform, trigger it, and you could actually ride it throughout small sections of the level to get over obstacles. And I was like, what's something at the beach that you can ride that's also kind of like fun and whimsical? And I was like, oh yeah, surfboards are real things that can be used. And then once I loaded the surfboard model in, everything just seemed to fall into place.
And he's like, I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna sing it, and then I'm gonna repeat it. And it's like, okay.
So now that I got the new mechanic and the level ground layout, it was time to start placing the assets. So I start placing surfboards, and I'm not actually placing them in this video. I actually already placed them, and I'm just recording over to make it look as if they're being placed. It's a little bit of movie magic. Again, I'm not placing anything. Everything was already there. And maybe it's easier if I just unhide everything. And this is the whole map. As you can see, it's got the tubes, it's got the jumps, it's got some new yellow lava zones, which basically will slow you down. And I'll come back to those later, but these are just kind of placeholders. And that's it. So while I love the surfboard mechanic, it is very similar to the other things already in the game. It's just another translational mechanic, like the slide tube and like the jump zone thing. They're all kind of refabrications of the same thing, moving the crab if you press on beat correctly. I want to introduce a new hazard element to the game, similar to the eels in the previous level, but with a bit more emphasis on rewarding the player for pressing things on beat and not slowing down the player. So I came up with this dodge system mechanic. When a player enters a certain dodge zone, it will trigger a mechanic in which the player must press the dodge button on a specific beat to avoid whatever happens. If the player wins, they get a speed boost. If they lose, they get set back to right before the dodge zone. This encourages the player to keep momentum if they hit on beat, and it kind of creates a positive tension in the game. Because I don't want this to just be a complete like walking sim where you're not really ever feeling any challenge, but I also want the challenge to be accessible enough to large audiences who have maybe never even played through a full rhythm game. Is this mechanic gonna do both those things that are paradoxical? I don't know, but I kind of like the way it turned out. So here, the player enters a zone that for now is just a box, and it triggers the dodge mechanic, which is basically a countdown until you have to press the dodge key. And if you hit it, you get a boost. And if you fail, you get sent back to where you started. It's pretty simple, and I could swap out the meteor for a bunch of different things. That's just the placeholder for now. But I think it's pretty fun, and I'm excited to use it in the new level. So now we really do have everything we need to fully lay out the level. We have the surfboard mechanic, we have the slide tubes and the jump zones from previous levels, we have the new lava zones, we have the terrain ready to go. Everything's ready for the new level. And you might be saying to yourself, this level kind of looks like garbage. And you're right. But I think that's all we have time for in this video. In the next one, we're going to focus on actually adding the aesthetics. And for me, the fun part of level design is making it look pretty. Thank you so much for watching. You can wishlist Scuttle on Steam and play the demo. Now that we have the layout set, we can actually focus on the details and minutia of the level. So stick around, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Microscope in hand, solving with a plan. Dr. Ferret's here showing